Most gig workers do not have a shortage of ways to work. They have a shortage of things they own. If I had 5 to 8 hours a week between Uber rides, DoorDash deliveries, Instacart orders, or another app, these are the 7 AI-powered assets I would compare. A website service, a local lead generation site, a digital toolkit, a local newsletter, a productized content service, a useful calculator, or a niche content channel. But I will not try to build all 7. I will keep 2, test 1, and reject the rest for now. And no, I am not going to call this passive income. Some can reach a buyer faster. Some create more ownership. Some demand client work every week. And some are terrible choice. By the end of this video, you will know which two deserve a closer look for your time, skills, and tolerance for client work. Here is the rule for this comparison. An asset in context is something useful that you increasingly control, such as a process, a website, a customer relationship, a guide, a tool, or an audience that trusts your work. It may require real effort. The difference is that your effort leaves something behind. AI can reduce the cost of research, drafting, design, organization, and basic technical work. It cannot create demand, judgment, trust, or customer results for you. Every option gets the same scorecard: weekly time, difficulty, first responsible test, delivery burden, ownership, best fit, and main risk. The first asset I would consider is an AI-powered website service for local businesses. Here you are not selling AI. You are helping a business solve a visible problem. It could be an outdated website, confusing service pages, no quote form, weak mobile design, or no clear way to book. AI can help you research the business, organize the pages, draft first pass copy, create a private demo, and build a quality checklist. A modern website builder can create a starting point quickly. Starting point is the important phrase. You still have to verify facts, improve the offer, check the mobile version, test every form, and get the owner's approval. The smallest responsible test is not buying 10 subscriptions. Find one local real business with a website problem. Build one private, one-page demonstration using public and non-sensitive information. Then ask the owner whether the direction will be useful before investing further. This is one of the fastest options for reaching a real buyer conversation because you can show a concrete before and after direction. The trade-off is delivery. Clients request changes. Websites need maintenance. If you cannot communicate clearly, control scope, and finish details, AI will only help you build a terrible website faster. The second asset I will consider is a local lead generation website. Instead of building a site for one client, you build a useful site you control around one local problem. For example, helping residents understand how to compare mobile detailing services, fence repair quotes, or pet care providers. The asset is the domain, the useful content, the permission-based lead process, and the relationship with legitimate providers. AI can help organize research, draft interview questions, structure page briefs, and summarize patterns. But publishing hundreds of nearly identical city pages is not a strategy. That can become doorway or scaled content abuse, and do not create fake Google business profiles. Lead generation companies are not eligible for their own business profiles, and only an owner or authorized representative should manage a real business profile. The responsible test is small: one service, one area, 5 conversations, and one genuinely useful page. Then test whether people request help. This creates more ownership than client work, but it is slower and less predictable. A domain does not create demand, and search traffic is never guaranteed. The third asset is a digital guide or toolkit based on useful experience. The key phrase here is useful experience. A generic ebook like How to Make Money with AI is not valuable just because it is a PDF. But something like a tested airport waiting area checklist, a vehicle cleaning routine, a weekly gig income review, a new driver safety checklist, or a customer message library could solve a specific problem for a specific person. AI can help you organize your notes, identify missing steps, rewrite confusing sections, create examples, and prepare a clean draft. Your job is to supply the experience, verify every claim, remove unsafe advice, and test the tool with real users. Before spending a month writing, describe the problem and the proposed tool to 10 relevant people. Ask what they already use, what is missing, and whether they will exchange an email, a small deposit, or a pre-order for the finished version. This is inexpensive to test and easier to deliver repeatedly. The risk here is generic output. AI makes average information cheap. Your advantage must come from lived context, useful structure, testing, and updates. The fourth asset is a local newsletter or a directory. Gig workers often see a city at street level. You notice which areas are active, which businesses opened, what customers repeatedly ask about, and where useful information is scattered. That perspective could become a permission-based newsletter about accessible family events, late-night food for shift workers, apartment resources for newcomers, or verified pet-friendly businesses. AI can help turn public information and your notes into a draft, categorize listings, prepare interview questions, and create a sponsor brief. But every date, address, price, and business claim needs human verification. Test this with a 3-issue pilot. Choose one narrow audience, interview 10 people, publish 3 useful editions, and ask whether readers want issue 4. This can build an email list and local trust, but it requires consistency. A newsletter that stops after 2 issues is not yet an asset. It is an abandoned draft. The fastest asset to test is rarely the easiest to deliver, and the asset with the most long-term ownership is rarely the fastest to validate. You are not choosing a fantasy. You are choosing which difficulty you are willing to carry. The fifth asset is a productized content service for local businesses. Productized means the scope is repeatable. Instead of saying, I do social media, you might offer 1 monthly owner interview, 4 edited short videos, 8 approved captions, and 1 simple publishing calendar for a specific type of business. AI can transcribe the interview, find themes, propose hooks, create first draft captions, and organize the calendar. The owner supplies the facts, point of view, approvals, and permission to use customer material. The fastest responsible test is 1 simple content pack built from approved source material. Do not scrape a business's website and invent a brand voice. Do not fabricate a customer story. The FTC's rule prohibits fake and false reviews and testimonials, and that includes AI-generated reviews presented as real experiences. This can reach a buyer quickly because businesses understand the need to communicate, but delivery does not disappear. Every month requires source material, editing, approval, and deadlines. The sixth asset is a useful template, calculator, or a tracking system. This could be a weekly profit review sheet, a maintenance tracker, a route comparison worksheet, a client follow-up system, or a calculator that helps someone understand a decision. AI can help translate a process into fields, formulas, validation rules, instructions, or even a lightweight app. But a polished interface does not make the logic correct. If you build a mileage or profit tool, for example, test the ugly cases. What happens with 0 miles, refunds, tolls, mixed personal or business use, missing data, or a negative week? Label assumptions clearly and never present a planning tool as tax, legal, or financial advice. Build the smallest working version and watch 5 people use it without coaching. Notice where they stop, what they understand, and whether the output changes a real decision. This can create repeatable delivery. The risk is silent error. 1 wrong formula can create a confident-looking wrong answer. The 7th asset I would consider is a niche content channel or audience asset. That could be a YouTube channel, podcast, email service, or a searchable resource for 1 clearly defined group. For example, first-year rideshare drivers in 1 city, caregivers earning through flexible work, or local service operators. The asset here is not 1 viral video. It is the original library, an identifiable audience, their questions, and when possible, a permission-based email relationship you can carry beyond 1 platform. AI can help research questions, organize an outline, create captions, analyze feedback, and repurpose your original material. You should not turn the channel into mass-produced slideshows or recycled clips. YouTube expects original and authentic value and can reject repetitive, generic, or minimally transformed content for monetization. The responsible test is a 6-piece season for 1 audience and 1 problem. Measure whether the right people return. Ask specific questions. Join your list or take the next useful action. This may create the strongest long-term trust, but it is usually the slowest path to direct revenue. If you need money urgently, do not treat audience building like an emergency paycheck. Now we reduce 7 options to 2. If you want the fastest path to a real buyer conversation, compare a website service and a productized content service. Both can be demonstrated to a specific local business. Both also create deadlines, revisions, and client communication. If you want less repeat delivery and you already have useful knowledge or a repeatable process, compare the digital toolkit and the template or calculator. They can help many people with the same core asset, but they are harder to sell when the problem is vague. If you are patient and want to build stronger long-term distribution, compare the lead generation site, local newsletter, and niche content channel. These can create more control over time, but they are slower, uncertain, and require consistency. Now, remove anything that fails one of these 4 filters. First, can I give these 5 focus hours a week for the next 8 weeks? Second, do I understand the problem well enough to speak with 5 real people? Third, can I run a small test without risking money I need for rent, transportation, food, insurance, or date? Fourth, am I willing to do the unglamorous part, like outreach, quality checks, revisions, support, or consistent publishing? If an option fails one filter, remove it for now. Your goal is not to pick the perfect business. Your goal is to identify the 2 options that deserve evidence. Your next step is not to buy 7 AI tools. Write down the 2 assets that survived. Under each one, answer 4 questions. Who has the problem? What small result could I create? What would I need to learn? And what is the cheapest responsible test I could run? If you want a simple framework for thinking in assets instead of tools, download the free AI income blueprint using the link below. It will help you organize the problem, the asset, the AI rule, and the next useful step. Then let me know in the comments which platform you currently work on and the 2 assets you kept. Your answers will tell me which demonstrations this series needs to do next. In the next video, we will reduce your 2 skills to 1 using your actual time, skills, budget, income needs, and tolerance for client work. Keep the income you need. Build the evidence you can. Choose ownership 1 useful step at a time. I will see you in the next video. God bless.